Hi, everybody. Welcome. Tonight's talk is about marriages, and I'm starting a minute early so you guys can get a chance to possibly share this on your Facebook fan page. Go ahead and share this out to people who are wanting to have a better relationship. You know, if you have a bad marriage, you want it to be better. If you have a great marriage, you want it to be excellent. You know, there's always room for improvement. And so even if you have an excellent marriage, you can learn the tools necessary to help people who are struggling. You know, we have a pretty bad statistic right now where 50% of the people who get married don't stay married. And then the other 50%, most of those people aren't very happy. And there's no reason for it because marriage is the easiest thing to fix. And in all my years of coaching and counseling and training people, marriage is the number one easiest thing to resolve. And in many cases, it only takes a very short amount of time and we can fix most of the problems. There's only 3 or 4 major problems in a relationship. And if you can fix those things, you can fix the entire relationship. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit tonight. We're going to be doing a continuing series. Me and a friend of mine, Brian Goings, BrianDGoings.com. He's actually writing a book. Brian's writing a book on marriage, and it's a biblical-based concept on how to have the greatest marriage you possibly can. And I've been reading it along with him and helping him write doing some of the editing, helping him with the book on the side. But it's a great story. He's a great storyteller, and it's got some really good stuff on it. I highly recommend that you go to BrianDGoings.com and subscribe to his blog so you can be part of the process. And if you want to be part of mine, you can go to BillEbert.com/blog and just stay up to date. I'm going to have a section on marriage as we move more and more into the coaching and the life coaching and then the marriage counseling, marriage coaching side of things. I'm going to start talking more and more about that. So once or twice a week, we're actually going to have a live chat. Brian's not feeling well tonight, so I'm going to be doing the call tonight solo. But I do want you to connect with him and get a copy of his book. I'm going to give you some quick little pointers during the conversation. One of the things I want to do is answer your questions. If you have some questions about marriage, you have some questions about relationships or communication, whatever it is, go ahead and ask your questions. And if I can answer them, I'd be more than happy to. Basically, it's free marriage coaching. So go ahead, ask your questions. So the first thing I want to do is give you some tools to get started. One of the very first things we tell everyone in my coaching, whether it's life coaching or marriage counseling, I always get people to read this book. Love is a Choice. You can probably get it for $3. It's been around for a long time, and you can get used versions on Amazon. Very inexpensive. Highly recommend you getting a copy of Love is a Choice. It talks about a lot of the effects that we have growing up and how it affects us in most of our life. So it's the number one book that I recommend when it comes to coaching and counseling. So there's tool number one, Love is a Choice. Tool number two is, of course, Brian D. Goings is writing a book. I would like for you to subscribe to his blog. Go ahead and get a copy of his book. We're going to be launching the thing as a super special offer. It's going to be $14.99, but for the day that we launch, for all of you guys who are subscribed to his blog, he's going to be giving it away for 99 cents. You get the ebook for $1. I mean, it's a pretty good deal. So we want to build enough followers and enough subscribers up to help us launch this thing. Be more than happy to let you guys have it for $1. The other tool I want you guys to have is a book that I use pretty regularly in family coaching and marriage coaching and marriage counseling is the Dream Planner. I've written a book called The Dream Planner, Dream Your Life Amazing. And the Dream Planner is an amazingly powerful tool when you start using it in relationships to help people find and fulfill their dreams. There's nothing greater than you can possibly do than to help your spouse find and fulfill their voice, find and fulfill their destiny. So there's some of your tools for you. I want to talk to you about, I usually want to give you 1 or 2 life hacks. And the first one I want to talk about, there's a book out there called The Love Languages, or the 5 Love Languages. And let me look it up. Go ahead and ask your questions while we're getting ready, while I'm finishing up my little life hack here. Go ahead and ask any questions that you might have. I'm going to scroll down to the love language list. It's right about somewhere around here. There we go. So you guys have probably heard about the love languages. If not, it's pretty simple. I mean, some of them are words of affirmation, acts of service, those kind of things. And there's 5 basic love languages. But I don't want to talk to you about the love languages because you could actually go research it. You can probably go find a blog or you go find somebody that's actually talking about it. What I want to do is talk to you about when love languages become hate languages. And it's very easy for you to misinterpret the signals in a relationship. So let's say, for instance, let me give you an example. Say, for instance, that your love language is acts of service, that you love it when people do things for you, when they make you a cup of coffee, when they make the bed without being asked, they mow the lawn without being asked, they take your car out and they wash it, whatever. You love acts of service. Now, what a lot of people do is they automatically assume that just because that's what I love, that your spouse loves it. And many times, many times actually, the very thing that you love, the other person will actually hate. So, for example, acts of service, that if you were raised in a really high codependently relationship, and whether it was your spouse, from an ex-marriage, or from your parents, or from your siblings, that every time they did something for you, there was an obligation tied to it. There was that feeling of guilt and obligation, and they made you feel bad. Every time they did something for you, it made you feel bad. And you wonder sometimes why I'm doing this act of service for somebody and they're not responding the way that they should. Because if you had the very same thing, someone did the same thing for you, you would thank them, you would give them a big hug, you would appreciate it, and there's no appreciation at all. And so sometimes gifts are like that, and sometimes words of affirmation are like that. You don't know whether it's that person's love language unless you ask them. So go through the list, figure out the things that really appeal to your spouse. Find out from them why they like or don't like certain things. It's a very powerful tool. I find a lot of people do that. So if you guys have any questions, I see some of my favorite people here. David Colores, good to see you. How you doing? Tomo. There's another person you should probably subscribe to her blog, tomod.life. She's pretty cool. Joanna Toms, same thing, joanna.life. Subscribe to her blog. Amazing stuff in there. She's got a new article that I'm looking forward to passing around called Switchback. I think she's still working on that. So let's see. Diane Law. Hello, Diane. Good to see you. Diane has a pretty amazing little blog too. So go ahead and connect with all those people. I don't see any questions though, so I guess we're going to end it if you don't have any questions. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Like I said, subscribe to all those people. Work on your marriage. It's the number one best thing you can do is work on you and your relationships. See you later, guys. Have a great night.